Any other discussion or input or? When Renee gets her supplies and things like she needs for her various camps and things, does she have any arrangements with the duck walls that she could buy sometimes in quantity? I know she's limited for storage here, you know, and how much she could buy, but if sometimes, well, I know she used plaster pairs, we were talking about that. And I'm seeing, okay, she got 2 different kinds of pails of plaster pairs. Is there any arrangement that we could make with them sometimes for some of these supplies that she uses
I'm sure there is. I don't think we do it at this time. We do with like Oriental Trading or High.
Yeah.
But we haven't, I don't think, with duck walls.
Okay.
But we can, I'm sure.
It's just a thought that
Sure.
maybe, you know, because maybe they could store it until we're ready for it. But sometimes, you know, if you buy it by the case, and it may come 6 pails in a box instead of 1 at a time.
Yeah.
And you may think, well, it's not very much, but when you look at the end of the year, that can add up to quite a bit of individual purchases versus, and I know our Oriental Trading usually has something, you know, when you buy in bulk or large quantities, you get pretty good discount off of that, the differences, so. And I'm not saying she needs to cut her program back at all, I'm just saying, I know how those little things you want each time can be expensive when you try to separate them out like that. Okay, we need a motion on this?
Well, before I can fill in the budget workshop, I've got to have, you guys got to approve it now, whether you want to approve as submitted or make, I mean, that's what, we probably don't want to meet in hand, we don't have to just on this, so you just need to tell me, I mean, the bottom line needs to be trimmed back and where, then make those adjustments. I mean, so that's what we're here for tonight.
I'll vote to approve as presented with the footnote that 4% that's stated in this might not necessarily be adopted. And we'll, again, like I said, we'll notify the board if there is a change from what's been submitted. And that'll probably happen.
Before we have the hearing?
Yeah, Kim, I don't know, I mean, we meet the 20th, I don't know if they'll know before that, probably not.
We'll meet based on what we have here then for the plan. Okay, that's what I needed to know.
And it'll probably be, by our next meeting, I would think the board of supervisors would have an indication what they're shooting for salary increases. Okay?
You got a motion on the...
Yeah, I got to take a second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the budget as presented tonight with the understanding that there may be some adjustments necessary in the future. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Okay, in addition to that too, we also need to designate a REAP account, reserve account, how much we dedicate to spend out of there. Just for example, last year, remember, we dedicated 150, we spent out of there for the building, and 84 out of REAP. That has to go into the expenditure part of the budget. I mean, it's part of those numbers in as well for budget. So, yeah. If that needs to be changed, then you could say that now. For example, if you wanted to allocate more out of REAP to be spent, now the time to do it. To be honest with you, I don't really foresee REAP being much this next year. Coming from the state, REAP might not be non-existent, it might be very low. I have no idea.
Okay, now we had a motion on the floor and we didn't vote on that motion yet, so we're still...
Oh, I thought you voted. I'm sorry.
We did vote on it.
Sorry.
Okay, that's why I wanted to make sure.
Go ahead and finish that
All
one.
right, and then we can go back and relook at this. All right, all those in favor of accepting the budget as presented with some adjustments if necessary, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay, now,
The
let's talk
expenditure
about
part of it, out of our REAP and reserve, that's what those are. If you want to change any of those, I think our reserve, we've been pretty solid on that 150. If you want to change REAP, either increase it or decrease it, we probably will decrease it. I think our balance in the REAP now is about 130, 39 roughly in there is what our balance is running in our REAP account. But my comment on, I don't know if you'll see any more income coming into that this year, or this, I don't have any idea. Your guess is as good as mine, but I wouldn't bet the farm that REAP will be at 15 million like it was last year.
This gives us the authorization to spend it if we don't need it. Of course, we don't have to spend it.
So,
That's your recommendation there.
well, that's what we used last year. My recommendation would not be any going less than that, because that's kind of what we've been banking on and applying for grants and things like this. So,
Move to go with your recommendation.
We have a motion with a second to leave the REAP and reserve amounts as they were last year, at $84,000 for REAP and $150,000 for reserve. Any further discussion? Those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Just FYI, I did have Sandy figure out the revenue that we brought in 2008, and this is calendar year 2008, so just finished up, was a little over 35,000. Is what we brought in for calendar year 2008.
That's pretty good.
Bulk of that is Camden.
I know, but that's pretty good because sometimes we thought about 32 for the whole.
There's been maybe a little bit more, but considering how wet it was,
Yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah. 33.6 of that is Camden. So that may give you an idea.
And the total was again what?
35,182. That's calendar. That's not
Right, I know.
But and we don't really see much in October, November, December, obviously.
I forgot that.
So.
Trouble with checks already.
Any other items under new business?